Hello students, happy Friday. We have made it through almost our first full week of NTI instruction, and I know that you guys are doing a great job working at home. I am excited to hopefully see you guys today during our Deep Springs Parade, so you guys can be looking for us in your neighborhoods around 1 o'clock today. It might be a little after 1 by the time we make it to your neighborhood, but be on the lookout for us. I drive a gold Camry, little car, so you can be on the lookout for me, and hopefully I get to see you guys from a safe distance today. For our video today, I'm going to combine our reading and math again, because there's not a whole lot of new instruction again today. So I'm going to do both sections in one. And boys and girls, if you need to pause that as you are working, if you do the math, then just pause the video and you can do the reading if you'd like to kind of separate the videos a little bit. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with our math today. For your math lesson, you guys are going to be adding and subtracting time. And you're going to be looking at some time word problems. And these are examples of things that you really might need to apply in your real life. Okay, so let's look at the first example together. So I'm just looking here at page 752. And you should have this copied where you can look at it with me. Okay. So you can see today we're working on how we can add or subtract time intervals. Okay, so it says Joaquin made a list of the time he should spend on different activities. Joaquin has practiced playing the piano for 35 minutes so far. How much longer does he need to play? A time interval is an amount of time. So that's how much time you're going to do something, okay? So it says he's going to play with Ron for 50 minutes. He's going to practice piano for 45 minutes, and he's going to do his homework for 60 minutes. So we know that his goal after school is to play piano for 45 minutes. So we see that already he's practiced for 35 minutes. We need to know how much longer he needs to practice, how many more minutes. So we need to know the difference of time from 35 minutes to 45 minutes. So there's two different strategies here that we can use to add or subtract time. We can use the bar models, which we've used these in class before. Or you can use a number line, which we have used number lines for different things. We've used them for multiplication, but we haven't used them for time, okay? But we have used them for multiplication or addition and subtraction, and same with the bar models. And basically all we're doing here today is adding and subtracting. So let's take a look at the first way. You can use a bar diagram to represent the problem and show the time intervals. So we can say, Joaquin has practiced for 35 minutes. Okay. He needs to practice for 45 minutes. So up here at the top of our bar model is how many minutes he needs to practice in all. He's already practiced for 35. So how much longer does he need to practice? That's what we're trying to determine. That is what's going to go in our question mark, okay? So 35 plus what is going to give us 45. So you can count up from 35 to 45. You could count by fives, or you could subtract to find the difference. You could rewrite that. You could say, what is 45? Take away 35. To find the missing number, to find the difference also, okay? So if you wanted to count up by fives, you could say 35, 40, 45, 10 minutes. Or if you wanted to find the difference, if that was easier, 5 take away 5 is 0. I should have written that a little smaller there, sorry guys. And 4 take away 3 is 1. So Joaquin has to practice for 10 more minutes. So the missing time in that question mark is 10 minutes, okay? Another way that you could look at it would be using a number line. So it says you can use a number line to represent the problem and show time intervals. So this way we could subtract it. Just another way of looking at it. Okay, so we have the number line here. The number line goes in increments of 10, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. We know that 45 minutes is the amount of time he needs to practice. So from 0 to 45. We know that 45 is in between 40 and 50. So our little dot for how much time he needs to practice is right there in between 40 and 50 to represent 45 minutes. And I'll write that in for you guys to kind of help you. Okay, 45 minutes is how much time he needs to practice. He's already practiced 35 minutes. So we could subtract 45, take away 35. You could write it like I did here if that's easier. Or you could count backwards on your timeline by 35 minutes. 5 minutes, going down 5 minutes would take us to 40. And 10, 20, 30, 35. And we can see that the remaining time is 10 minutes. This is just two ways to look at the same problem, okay? So for your assignment today for math, you're going to answer these 4 questions. And that is all that you are going to have to do today. On number 1, it goes on and gives you a number line. And on number 2, it gives you a bar model. But you do not have to use those. You can solve them any way that you choose. Okay? Up here in this box, this is just another example to help you. Okay? For your reading assignment today, we have just half of one of our weekly tests, okay? So it looks like the weekly test that we normally take, except for we cut it in half for you guys. So let's take a look at that together. It is called The Energy of Sound. It's the story that you are going to be reading, okay? So here we have the story. It's not super long. We've got about a page and a half, okay? And then we have some questions that go with it. You guys know that one thing we like to do before we begin a test is read the questions so that we know what we're going to be prepared to listen for, so we can go over those questions together, okay? Number 1 has a part A and a part B. Okay, part A says read the sentence from the article. A sound wave is caused when matter moves back and forth very quickly. What does the word forth mean in this sentence? Forward, into view, backwards, or after the third. So you all know one of our strategies that we use on questions like this is to put the answer in the sentence and see which one makes the most sense. Part B goes with part A, and it says, which word sounds like forth but has a different meaning? So which one is that homophone? Which one sounds the same when you say it, but it means something different? Farther, fast, fort, or forth? Okay. Let's look at number 2. What does the author consider to be an enjoyable sound? Pick 2 choices. So an enjoyable sound would be a sound that he likes, a sound that he thinks is a good sound. And remember, we're going to pick 2. A bird chirping, a dog barking, a car screeching, a creek babbling, a mosquito buzzing, or a jackhammer rattling. So you're going to want to go back in the text to find that answer. Okay? Part number 3 has a part A and a part B. So these are going to go together. They're going to build on each other. Which statement explains what happens when something vibrates very quickly? Is there A, a low sound, B, a high sound, C, a loud sound, or D, a quiet sound? So you'll want to go back in the text and find that answer. And then part B, which detail from the article best supports your answer to part A? When an object vibrates, it sends out sound waves. B, pitch describes how high or low a sound is. C, objects that vibrate very quickly make sound with a high pitch. Or D, very strong vibrations make loud sounds. Okay, and your final two. Number 4 says, read the sentences from the article. Underline the word that sounds like another word that means separate into pieces. Separates into pieces. When the brakes on a car screech, we shiver. When a mosquito buzzes unpleasantly in our ear, we want to run. So which word means the same as separate into pieces? And the last one, number 5. How does the author help the reader understand how musical instruments vibrate? Does he compare the size of the instruments? Explain how to hold each instrument? Compare weak and strong instruments? Or explain how different instruments are played? So you can go back in the text to find that answer. Okay. As always, boys and girls, let me know if you guys need any help or support. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I will see you back here for week 2 on Monday.